What is clearly a scam but is so normalized people don't notice? Printer ink. Buy a laser printer. Expensive upfront, $100, $700, but pennies in the long run, compared to inkjet. Most come with scan/copy/fax features which come in handy in the work-from-home era. Edit, fixed spelling, added more tips, thanks for the flair. I did exactly this. Changed out from inkjet to a color laser. Pretty penny up front, long-term cost has been maybe 1%, the total cost of using an inkjet long-term. I do not like saying never, but I will indicate that I am incredibly hesitant to any plans for a purchase of an inkjet for the foreseeable future. A monochrome laser is very cheap. Bought mine for $90. Far better print quality than inkjet, the toner doesn't dry up from disuse, and faster. I got one for $30 a few years ago, it only just ran out of toner. If you're not printing photos, F inkjet. I just paid for the privilege of setting up my router. My cable company recently started trying to charge me for my router, which I own. I got a notice saying we noticed an error in billing and we will be charging you for the equipment rental starting in December. The F you will, I have every receipt from every cable or phone transaction I've ever done for that exact reason. I paid outright for my router so I wouldn't be renting their crafty equipment at $12 per month. Now they want to charge me for my own property. After receiving that notice, I hopped right onto customer service to get it resolved, and they directed me to their loyalty department because they could best handle it over there. I cut off the conversation and just canceled my service. Cable companies are pure scum. Must be nice to have other providers to choose from. The town I live in, Comcast is the only option. The town that borders mine has an internet company that charges less than half what Comcast does for double the speed. 400 feet away. It is beyond infuriating. Alexa, order 425 feet Ethernet cord. And a shotgun. The loyalty department sounds like the people who try to persuade you not to cancel. Seems a bit premature to transfer you to them before you say you want to cancel. That's what I thought too. Loyalty department sounds like a cleaned up way to say customer retention. I mean, I'm not sure what they expect when they're trying to charge people for their own property. The way cable companies are set up makes any real competition basically impossible. You have at most 2 to 3 options most places in the country, and in many, many places you only have one option. Cable and internet really needs to just become a public entity already. Private companies should not be allowed to price gouge what is basically as necessary as electricity now for many people. Who and for what router so the rest of us can stay the hell away from them? Bottled water, like Dasani. Especially in places like an amusement park that markups the price a shocking amount. Also, the average markup of bottled water is 4,000%, which is effing outrageous, because water is literally free most places. I'm fuzzy on the details, but Warped Tour got in a lot of legal trouble here in Canada because of water. They were in the habit of taking any water bottles or drinks from you when they checked your bag at the gate. Then you get inside and everything costs money. The energy drinks and pop cost less than the water, so most people would buy those instead. One woman bought energy drinks all day because it was a hot summer day, and she wanted to save money for merchandise. She had a heart attack and died. Now they aren't allowed to confiscate water at the gate. Should be law that they have to make basic tap water available at events like this. Lollapalooza 96. Metallica had beef with Ticketmaster, so they moved all shows to locations that TM didn't control. One was at a county fairgrounds with zero shade, zero free water, and bottled water was expensive as crap. It was 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I missed the headliners, Cheap Trick, Metallica, and Soundgarden, because my sister had to be rushed to the hospital after collapsing from heat stroke. Payday loans. I used to work as a debt collector for a payday loan company in the UK. I was not a very good debt collector. People used to find out about the various loopholes that stopped interest being added really easily. I worked there just before Christmas. It is the job that made me go back into education. Because my soul. Back to base security system monitoring. Huge scam. My smart home security system alerts me faster than ADT ever did, biggest offenders. When you don't answer the call, they will send out someone and will charge you a fee. And every time your system messes up, it will send false error codes to the monitoring station, which they will charge you a huge fee to fix. And oh, if you want to disconnect it, the guy I spoke to from ADT was going to charge me $250 call out, plus $50 for every 15 minutes he was at my house, and the job would have taken at least an hour. They said, they may need to go into the roof. No, I just called a security installation electrician and he said $50 call out and $30 for every 30 minutes he was there, but that was depending on the type of job. He was at my house for 5 minutes. Power off. Remove power wires from control box. Protect the wires so it's safe. Replace cover on control box. Done. He only charged $50. Compared to ADT's service, which would have cost about $450, ADT hardwired it into our power system. Without telling us what circuit they plugged into, basically one flip of a switch outside and the system turns off. Edit. Jesus Christ, 1000 upvotes. I guess people really don't like ADT or those companies. I work at an insurance co. We had an insured pay extra for sump pump warning. Warning didn't work, basement flooded. ADT said, oh well, our contract says that's not our fault. Why pay for a feature when there are no consequence to the company for failing to provide said feature? We, in my childhood neighborhood, were all done with it when a woman got raped and murdered in her own home a few blocks away and ADT didn't even send a signal to the police for help. She'd had their service for 10 years and never missed a payment. A neighbor found her body 3 days after the event. Edit. He broke in through a back window and was armed with a gun, a hunting knife, and a rape bag, ligatures/bindings, the whole nine. They caught the guy who did it and he's now on death row. Is there an article on this? Holy F. How is this not bigger news? Every single person on the internet that sells some sort of millionaire education, it's all bullcrap. Every single one of them. They are all effing liars. Most of them are not even rich to begin with. They fake it enough that some idiots buy it. You are customers to them. Nothing more. You want to be a millionaire? Buy my book and I'll tell you how. You buy the book and it says to start a website selling a book on how to be a millionaire. This is so true. I received a free book called Fire Your Boss, and the whole thing was just this guy saying, start a blog, or a YouTube channel, or become an influencer. Just a bunch of BS about passive income, AdSense and SEO. My favorite are the coaching companies that sell you their services on how to start a coaching service. It's a vapid cycle. These are basically just MLMs. Ticketmaster. Yes, basically scammers adding huge marks up but making it impossible to use anyone else. Not to mention allowing mass purchasing bots to scoop up tickets only to offer a third-party market platform for those same scalpers to resell the tickets at increased prices to the fans actually going to the show. TM takes a cut twice. And they were letting bots buy all their tickets on one platform and resell on the other at inflated prices, allowing them to collect double the amount of those fees, which are also a scam. Makes you wonder what will happen to companies like Amazon and Walmart that allow bots to buy PS5s and Xboxes and turn around and sell them on the same platform. Edit. Correction on parent company, web link. F Ticketmaster. Rent to own furniture and appliances. Worked in solar construction for a while where you would travel to the middle of nowhere to work on a site, so they gave us a housing fund to rent a place during the job. People would get the rent to own furniture and charge it to the housing money as a living expense. Company was cool with it, and once it was paid off, the worker got to keep it. Yeah, I lived in some company provided housing for a few months once, and they furnished the place with rent to own stuff. So situations where rent to own actually makes sense to exist. They're just pretty niche and only represent a fraction of their business. My husband had knee surgery. People had suggested a recliner, but we knew so much better than them. His nerve block wore off in the middle of the night, and I've never seen someone in such pain, while I tried to find a comfortable position for him in bed. First thing in the morning, I went to rent a center and said I needed a recliner. I didn't care what it looked like. I just needed one. They delivered it and carried it upstairs to my bedroom that afternoon. My husband lived in that recliner for a month. Then we called them back and they came to pick it up. Best decision we've ever made. As someone who had to get spinal steroid injections after I bulged 2 discs and impacted my sciatic nerve and couldn't move for a month due to absolutely blinding pain, I sympathize with your husband's nerve pain in a way that would lead me to do the same damn thing if I could have. The first moment of peace I had in weeks was when I went for a scan and they put me in a chair that laid me mostly back with supports under my knees and lower back. I nearly cried from relief. Would definitely have done a rented chair had I not been divorcing and broke AF at the time. I hope he's doing better. There was an episode of Hotel Impossible where the owner rented the couch in her lobby on a weekly basis for years. She could have bought multiple couches with the money she spent on that one couch she doesn't even get to keep. For a hotel lobby, I could see that being worth it. Lot of traffic, you'd be trashing your furniture regularly. I don't give a crap if my 10-year-old couch looks 10 years old. Hotel lobby wants all their crap looking pristine. Yeah, I could also see it being worth it. Like maybe you work out that based on normal wear and tear you'll have to replace the couch once a year. If the cost of renting that couch for a year is less than buying one outright, why buy one? And we're not even factoring in the cost of disposing of your old one. Sure, maybe in 20 years' time someone might be like, huh? You could have bought 20 couches with that money, but why the F would I need 20 couches? But why TF would I need 20 couches? Couch Fort. Scientific journal memberships. Where academics pay journals to publish their papers, which are then peer-reviewed by volunteers, and the journals themselves are then sold by subscription? Not to mention that a huge part of scientific research, breakthroughs, and discoveries are often subsidized by the taxpayer. So even though I helped indirectly fund their research through the NIH, I can't read the results without a $200 monthly subscription. I'm sure some academic ethicists could probably speak to this issue in more detail than I can, but that's always bothered the F out of me. Many NIH grants require the work becomes open access within a year. Also check out ResearchGate. You can find the researcher and directly request private copies. Most people will provide them to you. Anytime someone messages me on ResearchGate to request a copy of a paper, I will always provide it to them. Academic ethicists could write a paper and send it to a peer-reviewed journal. Those registries that people pay money to name a star. I keep seeing advertisements on FB for companies that will give you official lord or ladyship for like $50, based on giving you the title to a small parcel of land somewhere like Scotland. I googled one of them once, and the first result was a breakdown of why the company is fraudulent and doesn't actually have access to any land anywhere. E Mare Libertas. Glory to Sealand. Edit. This is the sweetest display of nationalism and international support, thank you all. My cat is now officially known as Lord Crispin the Tabby of Sealand. Given the history of that glorious state, I'm super proud to be serving my lord. I bought my friend 1 square foot of land in Scotland through a legit company. They are actually a forest preserve and do this to raise awareness and interest in forest preservation. It is super cute and they send update newsletters about your land. They offer tours as well. Definitely lots of scam knockoffs though. I've seen the Name a Star thing that was legit through my city's Space and Science Center. The money goes to funding kids' programs. But never buy anything off Facebook, that's just asking to be ripped off. I think that would make a great base to a story about some Joe Schmo who buys a star and inherits the problems from that star's inhabitants. They come all the way to Earth after looking up the International Star Registry and he has to deal with their centuries-old wars. Edit. Oh. Wow. I didn't think this would blow up so fast. Thanks for the awards and thanks for encouraging a story out of this. I may just do such a thing. I will also look at those references everyone has suggested. This idea had been in the back of my head for many years. I had no idea anyone else may have thought similar. I swear I've seen something like this before as a gag, but I can't remember where. Edit. Looks like it's my brain melting something from our /writing prompts, Phineas and Ferb, and just pop culture in general together. Edit. I know about the YouTube video, that episode of American Dad and Studio C. Reddit link. It's fairly similar to that Simpsons episode where Lisa accidentally creates a miniature civilization in her tooth decay experiment. Paying for cable TV. The whole idea of paying was to create a revenue stream separate from that of marketing. There are a few out there, HBO, I think, but generally we pay to access the content and still have to spend 20% of the time sitting through commercials. Then streaming comes in and we're free of advertisements again, for a bit. Now YouTube has tons of ads and other streaming services are talking about adding ads as well. Netflix starts doing ads. I'm going right back to tormenting. Edit to ad because I can't reply to everyone lol. I either do Netflix or find it free to stream on those weird websites you need ad blockers for. I've noticed their ads are through product placement in their original content. I prefer this way of advertising far better than seeing Flo the Progressive Lady 80 times in one Hulu stream. Edit to ad, F Progressive, FFLO and all of the other progressive characters, and a huge F you to everyone who works on progressive marketing. A guarantee way to never receive by business. You'd think the brands paying for these ads wouldn't want their ads repeated so often. It literally makes me take note not to buy their crap. The other day I was watching a show and each commercial break had 3 to 4 ads and I crap you not, 2/3, 3/4, and one time even 4/4 of the ads were the same ad. F you Stella Rosa. Also maybe it's not the best idea to run ads about friends and family gathering for the holidays during a pandemic? I've always wondered about that in regards to YouTube especially. Sometimes I can click on 3 or 4 videos in a row and every single one has the same 15 seconds unskippable ad and every single time it plays it makes me want to buy that product or service less and less. Seems kind of counterproductive. Laughing my butt off. I was watching Alone last night on Prime. Geez, the number of stacked TV ads I had to sit through. Un-effing real. Some of these services Prime, Crave TV. You pay a monthly fee, then if you want extra content, you're stuck paying a little more for that, and then you get to sit through a F-ton of commercials on top of that. It's ridiculous. Time to don the pirate hat once more. Hot MILFs in your area. It is my understanding that they are interesting in meeting me tonight. Get in line, buddy. There are 4 in my area right now. And they're really, really bored. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.